Today on the Trent Out Loud show. What have I been telling y'all all week? Diddy knew he wasn't going to get bail. This was all a ploy to build public support and further his talks with President Donald Trump. Y'all got to start learning to trust me more, man. Diddy's team is out here working overtime. Now they got his ex-boo, Gina, victim number 3, calling y'all sheep. Megyn Kelly clearly has no idea what she's in for coming from Beyoncé and the Beehive. 3, 2, 1. Candace Owens finally stopped ducking Piers Morgan and accepted his $300,000 bet on if Brigitte was born a man or not. Candace, public service announcement. I would like to add to Piers's bet. I'm putting $100,000 on the line. Let's see if you'll accept. Hey, yo, Eve, aka the Pitbull in a dress. You know how much I love you, but you need to put some respect on my girl, Sexy Red's name. Y'all are really risking your life and breaking your spines over TikTok challenges? What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. To my Thursday morningers, one more day till the debauchery begins. Very excited for the weekend. All right, I got a great show set up for you guys today. I have 2 lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about Diddy's legal team finally confirming that Trump and Diddy are in talks about his pardon. Also, Gina Huynh, Diddy's ex-boo, posts free Diddy and drags people for calling her out and calls her haters sheeps. In quick news, we're going to talk Megyn Kelly, Beyoncé, Sydney Sweeney, Donald Trump, Candace Owens, Piers Morgan, Eve, Shedeur Sanders, DJ Khaled, Howard Stern, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and BET. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Diddy's legal team reaches out to Trump's administration for pardon after conviction. I hate to say I told you so, but yeah. Diddy's legal team isn't stopping when it comes to his freedom. They're hoping for a presidential pardon, and his team has already contacted the Trump administration. Per CNN, attorney Nicole Westmoreland confirms they've had conversations with the Trump administration following Diddy's conviction last month on 2 counts of transportation individuals for prostitution. All right. I'm going to break down, first of all, shout out to Nicole. She's one of my favorite lawyers on Diddy's team. Talk to her every day in the court. Shout out to Nicole. Second of all, I'm going to break down her whole CNN interview for you guys. It's really not that long, but it's not bringing the traction that I think Diddy's team was hoping it was going to do. So I want to break it down for you guys because there's a lot of information here and y'all may have missed it. All right. So the CNN reporter asked, have people in Diddy's orbit had conversations with the organization about the pardon? Nicole said, yes, it's my understanding that we have reached out. The interviewer said, reached out and having conversations are 2 different things. Are y'all having active conversations about a pardon with President Donald Trump? Nicole says, yes, it's to my understanding we've had conversations about a pardon with Donald Trump. So Nicole now is confirming that there are conversations. Okay. So it's not, we had conversations and it's over. It's, we are in talks. Okay. And I know some of you are going to think, oh, he said no last week. I'm going to debunk that and break that down for you. Just give me a second. All right. Now, the next question was, how is Diddy feeling about his chances? Nicole says, Diddy is hopeful. Next question. What was your strategy to beat the case? Now listen to this. Nicole says, just to tell the truth, we knew that Diddy hadn't SEX trafficked anybody and we knew RICO was absurd. So all we had to do was tell the truth. Now, I told you that Nicole is one of my favorite people on the team. It's because she is brilliant. You see the words that she's using? All we had to do was tell the truth. We knew that these things weren't true, so we just had to beat it with the truth. What is Donald Trump's social media app called? Truth Social. What is he always saying? I just tell the truth. Now, I know he does lie, but I'm saying he's all about, oh my gosh, you just have to tell the truth. The government comes at you, this, etc. She's playing on words for a future pardon. Just listen. Next question. The defense didn't put on a single witness. Do you think the prosecutors overplayed their hand? Was this a mistake? Should the government have never brought the case? Nicole answered and said, the government's first mistake was bringing the case, period. Again, grounds for a pardon. Yo, we didn't even have to bring on witnesses, and we had a jury say no to RICO and say no to the other two SEX trafficking charges under forced fraud and coercion. This is a witch hunt. Again, everything that Donald Trump has been saying for the past 10 years that has happened to him, okay? She said they shouldn't have brought, the first mistake was bringing the case, period. And the second mistake was allowing it to keep going. They knew there was no way that Diddy had committed RICO or SEX trafficking, nor did he SEX traffic anybody, and they continued anyways, and the jury saw right through it. These are talking points directly to Donald Trump, directly to his administration, and directly to his base. These are words verbatim that Trump has been using for the past 10 years. Nicole ended the interview by saying, well, she had the interviewer say this, but she said, Diddy is remorseful and believes that he still has a lot of good to do in the world. So, a couple of things. I've been telling you guys all week that Diddy knew that he wasn't going to get bail. This is the fifth or sixth time. But what is the point of him applying to get bail? It's like what I said, so that he could build up public support. And I read to you guys yesterday the top 20 comments in the comment section, and like 18 of them were free Diddy. This is ridiculous. The system is out to get him, etc., trying to bring down somebody, etc. They all say, yeah, he did some horrible things to Cassie. He might not be the best person in the world, like his lawyers even admitted. However, you guys are keeping him in jail right now, not granting bail, and talking about sentencing a man that literally has been convicted for hiring prostitutes from one state and literally bringing them in an Uber to the next state, which is utterly ridiculous. So this is all momentum. This is all publicity. This is all going to the Diddy rebirth. And that's why they ended off saying he's remorseful, because we're talking about the CNN tape, and they believe that he has a lot of good to do. Regardless if they give Diddy bail, regardless of the sentencing, they're drumming up support and they're drumming up momentum for Diddy. Now, let's talk about the pardon. If you guys think for 1 second, because Diddy has said some negative things about Donald Trump in the past, that Donald Trump is not going to give him a pardon, you clearly don't know Donald Trump. Do your research and find out the things that JD Vance, his vice president, has said about him. Any video that you want to bring up that Diddy said about Trump or anything about Trump, I can guarantee you JD Vance has said worse things. Do your research. And multiple people in Trump's orbit has said bad things about him. He actually likes that, because now that Diddy has said bad things about him, he can come and Diddy has less bargaining chips, and Trump could say, all right, you really need me. Plus you said these things. I'm going to have you come and do this for me and do this and say that. Trump is a negotiator. He's a businessman. Do you think he cares about what Diddy said about him? Trump doesn't have feelings. He's a negotiator. If Diddy is willing to give up whatever Trump wants him to give up, he will give him a pardon in 2.2 seconds, which is the reason why JD Vance is the vice president of the United States right now. There's negotiations going on. Diddy has to make a decision on what he wants to give up. If he wants to give up what Trump is asking him to give up, that's the talks. And trust me, not only am I smart, but y'all know that I got sources. All right. So I know what's going on, and it's I'm not going to say too much, but just don't be naive thinking because there's a video of Diddy saying some bad things about Donald Trump in 2020 that Trump is not going to give him a pardon. That's the worst excuse that I've ever heard in my life. They're talking, things are going on. We'll see if it will happen before the sentencing or Diddy might wait and say, all right, let me play my cards. Let me see how much public momentum I'm building. Let's see the sentencing. Let's see if I could just get off with time served. If I get off on time served, then I don't need a pardon. I could stay in jail another 60 days. Or he waits the sentencing, sees what his sentencing is. Man, I got sentenced to 5 or 6 years. All right, Donnie, remember that things that you wanted me to do for you? All right, okay, cool. Let's go. Pardon done. Anyways, follow the Trent Out Loud show. I'll let you know what's going on. Our second lead story. Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina Huynh, took to Threads to share a few posts about him, including one that said, "Free Diddy." She also revealed that she's forgiven him regardless of what others may think. Her post comes shortly after she reportedly wrote a letter to the judge requesting his release. All right, we broke down Gina's letter. I think it was yesterday or maybe on Tuesday's show. Broke it down. Again, a lot of people thinking that she's going to get in trouble, that she's going to get arrested, that she perjured herself. She covered herself perfectly in that letter. She never denied any of the things that she said in the past. She said we had a troubled past, like a lot of relationships have been through, but I've forgiven him. And she believes that he has done the work to change. That is what her letter said. Now she's doubling down again, the public, trying to change a public perception, trying to build up momentum for Diddy's return. Gina posted and said, "Free Diddy," with a heart. And she said, "You sheeps act like I can't forgive a man I once loved. I'm not going to kick him while he's down because y'all want me to. I didn't even know you. I don't even know you. TF, laugh out loud, goofies. I'ma always have his back." She also typed and said, "I've never been the type of person to follow crowds and trends. I'm not a follower." So I just think it's hilarious that she's calling people sheep. That's funny. Look, we all know what this is for. I just talked about it for the past 10 minutes. And we all know that they're going to use this as a character witness in Diddy's sentencing to show the judge that he's already been rehabilitated. Here is one of his ex-girlfriends, the government's victim number 3. She outed herself saying, "You don't need to put him in jail to rehabilitate him or for him to go to programs. I'm somebody who was his past victim and I've forgiven him. I could tell you right now that he is rehabilitated." That is going to go a long way. So another thing I just want to add is, I keep saying this every day, we have to start looking and judging things without our feelings for people. And I say that because how many situations have you heard just like this where people are in a relationship, things go bad, and the girl in the relationship decides to say, "You know what? My man, I'm going to forgive him. And I'm going to give him another chance." Now, we're not negating the fact that Diddy has done things to Gina. She's gone on Tasha K. We have heard it. We have seen it. She is choosing to forgive him, and y'all are trying to drag her for that. But you know, some of your friends or some of your family members or some colleagues or whatever that has gone through the exact same things, some worse, and have forgiven their man, and the relationship continues. Let's not act like this doesn't happen. Not excusing it by any means, but I'm just saying, I feel like people's disdain for Diddy is clouding their judgment. And it's like, he needs to be in jail for 10 years when your homegirl's boyfriend, has gone through the same things, and they're decided to give the relationship a second chance or a third chance. And you don't want that guy to be in jail for 15 years, but you want Diddy to be in jail for 15 years. It's not fair. Anyways, we'll keep following this. I predict that Diddy's team will be working over the next 60 days to drum up more public support. You're going to see more things in the headline. Let's just leave it at that. I can't say too much, but you're going to start seeing a lot building up to this sentencing. I wouldn't say protest level, but you're going to start seeing a really big push to have more public support for Diddy, and it's working. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Girl, bye. Megyn Kelly says there's nothing natural about Beyoncé after seeing a photo from her in her new Levi's campaign. Screams artificial, fake, enhanced, trying too hard. Okay, let me give you guys some context. Somebody tweeted out and said, Beyoncé stars in a new ad campaign for Levi's. The singer appears with blonde curly hair in a new photo released by the Jean brand. It comes amid Sydney Sweeney's new American Eagle ad being criticized by liberal activists who have claimed it's racist. Okay, now, Megyn Kelly took that comment from that person drawing Beyoncé and Sydney Sweeney that had nothing to do with each other other than the fact that it's a denim ad. One has nothing to do with each other. And Megyn Kelly, instead of calling this person out and saying, you're comparing apples and watermelons, Megyn Kelly says, this is the opposite of Sydney Sweeney's ad. Quite clearly, there's nothing natural about Beyoncé. Everything from her image to her fame to her success to her look below. It's bought and paid for. Screams artificial, fake, enhanced, and trying too hard. Why not just call out the fact that this person is comparing two ads that have nothing to do with each other? For somebody on Megyn Kelly's platform, this looks to me like you're trying to do a Stephen A. Smith move. Maybe y'all should call each other and have a show. Like you're taking something and turning it completely left so that we could talk about you. And I know we're taking debate, but it's ridiculous. And by the way, just to add my own 2 cents, I'm not even standing up for the naturalness of Beyoncé because I have been known to call out Beyoncé for using a body double in her ad campaign. Here's this picture that I have said, that is not Beyoncé. That is a body double. But that's not the point. The point is, and by the way, I love Beyoncé. Don't come at me, Beehive. But the point is that Beyonce's ad is for Levi's. And that's it. Sydney Sweeney's ad with American Eagle is suggestive of jeans and blue, not jeans, Jean, Gean, genes, like our genes of carrying on, our genetic genes. All right. So yeah. But you know what? Now I think about it, why am I surprised? Like, it's Megyn Kelly. That's what she does. Our second quick story. Stacey Williams, who claims Donald Trump groped her while she was dating Jeffrey Epstein, details the alleged incident. Stacey Williams, a former model and ex-girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, is speaking out. The model claims Donald Trump groped her inside his Trump Tower back office in 1993 while Epstein stood just feet away, chilling and smiling like it was normal behavior. Take a listen.
Donald came out of his office right outside in the sort of the waiting area and started groping me while the two of them continued having a casual conversation.
But Donald is groping you in front of Jeffrey as they are continuing to talk.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this story is true or not. We'll leave that to the court system. But I just want to know, how did it get to a point where the president of the United States has these claims against him and it literally just gets like swept underneath the rugs? If this was a claim about anybody else, it would be the most headlining story of the day. Actually pretty sad. Our third quick story. As for your ludicrous and very hurtful claims about Brigitte, today's court ruling, as you know, is irrelevant. So let's make it $300,000 if you can afford it. This is Piers Morgan's tweet to Candace Owens, and she finally stopped ducking him and accepted the bet. Take a listen.
So right now, $300,000 to charity. I say she's a woman. Are you prepared to take that bet?
I'm 1,000% prepared to take that bet. Brigitte Macron is a male.
I told you guys very clearly when this defamation case broke that it was a mistake for them to sue Candace because it's making the story even bigger. But I also told you that Candace was on a witch hunt. Nobody in the media circle believes Candace. We all know what she's doing. We all know what she's up to. And credit to her, it's working. But Candace, somebody please send this to Candace. I will add $100,000 onto Piers Morgan's bet. Let's see if Candace Owens accepts my bet, or will she continue to duck more bets because she knows that she is wrong. Our fourth lead story, Donald Trump on undocumented workers. These people are naturally fit for farm labor. Inner city Americans won't do farm work. Oh, the switch up on the Republican Party. Listen to this. Donald Trump is ruffling some feathers after suggesting that undocumented workers are naturally fit for farm labor and that inner city Americans won't do it. Although Trump came into his second term heavily swinging his deportation bat, him and his administration appeared to be taking a step back when the immigration raids started targeting farmers. But then his administration soon picked the bat back up. Now his officials are debating how to help farmers with migrant label without appearing to offer special treatment and amnesty to undocumented workers in the field. Donald Trump said his administration would continue to deport criminals, but will work with farmers to find migrant workers who often enter into the country legally but pay taxes. That's exactly not his words. Listen to his exact words.
But we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these are these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally.
It really needs to be studied how Donald Trump gets away with this. He's worked and wedged his way into saying whatever he wants, and it just doesn't matter without any repercussions. It doesn't matter. Our fifth quick story. I think Doechii will be there. Cardi B has made way. I love Glorilla. Eve on which female rappers has the most staying power. Rough Riders' first lady is showing love to the next wave. Eve shared her thoughts on today's female rap scene, naming Doechii, Cardi B, Glorilla, and Latto as artists she sees with staying power for the next coming years. Take a listen.
Do you think these young girls
has sustainability?
It's sustainability.
Some of them. That's a good question.
That's the question.
Yes, that's a very good question. I think some of them. I agree. I don't think it's going to be a lot, but I think there will be some. I think I think Doechii will be there. I think Cardi has made her way. I think obviously, I love Glorilla.
Glow.
I think Glow will be here.
I think Glow gonna have a nice legacy.
Now, first of all, shout out to Eve. That's my girl. Nice to see her back out on the scene. But I do have a few questions. One, what does she mean by Cardi B made her way? I hope she's acknowledging the fact that she's already cemented herself in the future. Cardi's already a legend. I don't know how much I agree with Doechii. As much as I love her, Doechii is still fresh on one album and she hasn't been out a year yet. Now, could Doechii be like a Lauryn Hill where she comes out with one album and she's that legendary? I don't know, but I think it's tough to put Doechii right beside Cardi B. And of course, I agree with Latto. So I agree with the list. I just have some questions about it. And I'm going to need you to put some respect on my girl, Sexy Red's name. She's going to be here in the future. Trust me. It's my girl.
I'm big single. You heard. Come me. That's how ready I am.
Yo, I love Sexy Red, man. Our sixth quick story. Let's see if Shedeur Sanders can make his first impression in the preseason a good one. He will be the starter for the first pregame for the Cleveland Browns. Yo, shout out to Shedeur. We've been talking about him all week. The NFL is starting back. Well, preseason starting back. I told you guys yesterday that in preseason, he has the best stats, most completions, and most touchdowns. So they're giving him the nod in preseason. He is still listed as the fourth string quarterback, which makes absolutely no sense. But the Browns have an opportunity to change that. So I'm back to giving them grace. Y'all know I love to give people grace. Let's see. After this game, this preseason game, if he really, really puts it down and he really starts doing good and putting up numbers, let's see if they bring him up. If they keep him at fourth, they're back in the doghouse. Our 7th quick story. Jessie Woo calls out DJ Khaled for silence over Gaza. Jessie Woo sure is not holding back while talking about DJ Khaled's lack of support for Palestine. Take a listen.
And I cannot imagine being Palestinian and not speaking up for my people, DJ Khaled. Hello? Is the microphone on, DJ Khaled? Get out the booth. All that screaming and hollering you be doing, get the out the booth and speak up for your people. This is ridiculous.
All right, here is my issue with DJ Khaled on this, okay? Now, as you guys know, DJ Khaled is Palestinian, and he has not said a word, a post, signed anything, nothing. Now, some celebrities, not a lot of them, but some celebrities tend to say, I don't want to get into the political arena. I don't want to do anything like that. Michael Jordan is famous for saying, I do not want to get into politics because Republicans and Democrats both buy sneakers. And I feel like that's their right. This is the problem I have with DJ Khaled, okay? You cannot decide I am not going to get into politics and then post pictures like this on your Instagram. Now, look at him on the beach. If you decide that you don't want to get involved, you got to show some silent support for your people. And if I were him, I wouldn't post my lifestyle. I wouldn't post the luxury while you see what's going on in your home country, where you're from, your family is from. He still is a public figure and an artist, has to make money. I would maybe just post my album or post something like that, but I would take all my personal life out of it. And if you don't want to take your personal life out of it, and you do want to be personal and you do want to be interactive, then talk. You cannot have it both ways. So a lot of people have weighed in on this, and that's just my 2 cents. You cannot have it both sides, bro. Our 8th quick story. Sources claim the Howard Stern show will most likely end after nearly 20 years on Sirius XM. There's no way Sirius can keep paying his salary. Sources told the U.S. Sun that Stern's current contract, which expires this fall, will not likely be renewed because his salary demands cannot be met. Stern first rose to stardom in the 80s with his radio show and has since moved to Sirius in 2006. Shout out to Howard Stern, the legend. However, it's time. It's just time. And not for him specifically, but you hear me saying this all day. I talked about that yesterday with Gayle King, Stephen Colbert. I have another story coming about BET. All that terrestrial radio, terrestrial TV, it's all done with. It's all over. We're at the transition right now. Yes, I know satellite radio's in people's car, but people are listening to YouTubers, podcasters, streamers. That's the old digital era. It's done with. And you know, people like Howard Stern, legend, paved the way, but it's time to go and make some room for the Trent Out Loud show. Shout out to my YouTubers and podcasters and streamers. What up? New media. Yo, we're taking over. I saw it. We talked about it in the Diddy trial where TMZ, the CNN, well, TMZ is kind of like a hybrid, but let more sorts like ABC, NBC, you know, CNN, and then there's new media. And I know we have respect for each other, but we're called new media for a reason. Because we taking over, me at a time. We taking over. What song is that? Oh my gosh, I think that's a DJ Khaled song. And I literally was just dragging him. Our 9th quick story. All right, another flip-flopper in the Republican Party. MAGA Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's fed up with how the party treats women and regular Americans. I don't want to have anything to do with it. What? All right, I do not have enough time to go down and explain to you guys who Marjorie Taylor Greene is and what she stands for, but just know that she is literally like the poster child for every single thing that Donald Trump stands for or was, okay? Listen to this. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene is turning her back against the Republican Party after years of being their number one spokesperson. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a representative in Georgia, says she's not happy with how the party is turning their back on working Americans and staying away from their America First values. She even claims the Republican Party has become a good old boys club and has shut out the woman in the party, something she's all of a sudden cannot stand. Just now turning into a good old boys club? Are you joking? What, now? It's 2025. Where were you like when Donald Trump came in 2016? Are you joking? Donald Trump is the poster boy of the good old boys club. She said, I think there's other women in the party that are really sick and tired of the way men treat Republican women. Really? You don't say, Marjorie. Keep in mind, this is the same woman who was 10 toes down for the nullification of Roe versus Wade. She was also one of the main advocates for a lot of the legislation that took away funding for low-income Americans. So it's very ironic that now she's saying the party that doesn't care about everybody and care about women when she is the one that was standing beside Trump when he became the leader of the party. The flip-flopping in the Republican Party is crazy. But we have been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. The Epstein files are starting to lose support from new media, Joe Rogan, etc., other streamers and podcasters. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't know where Donald Trump goes from here. Who's going to have his back? And actually, I don't have this in any of my stories, but apparently J.D. Vance and a couple of people, I think the CIA director, the FBI director, is getting together today at J.D. Vance's house for a dinner to discuss what they're going to do about the Epstein files. Not like I'm going to trust what they're telling us is going to come out of the dinner or anything, but apparently they're meeting for a dinner. We'll see what happens with the Republican Party. According to Charlemagne, he said that there's a coup and they're trying to out Donald Trump. We'll see. All right, our 10th quick story. BET suspends Soul Train and Hip Hop Awards indefinitely. All right, I'm running low on time, so I won't read you the article, but basically what they're saying is TV is changing, the landscape of TV is changing. We're going to take it off the air for now and try to reimagine it. It's exactly what I just said a couple of minutes ago with Howard Stern and yesterday about Gayle King. Everybody that's on television is trying to figure out and reimagine how they could get into the online platforms and the streaming platforms. So for now, the Soul Train and Hip Hop Awards are gone, but we might see it in another form or fashion, maybe on YouTube. Like everything is just going over to YouTube. Shout out to the Trend Out Loud show. Our 11th quick story. Influencer breaks spine after attempting the Nicki Minaj stiletto challenge. A mommy blogger broke her spine. She has just over 1,200 followers on Instagram, and she attempted to do this just weeks after giving birth. She broke her spine and ended up in the hospital, according to reports. Okay, I saw this a couple of days ago, and I was like, this is totally ridiculous, but I couldn't find the video. I finally found the video. The camera drops, and you don't see her falling, but here is the video that goes along with the story. Take a look. Now, I'm not one to knock any content creators at all. I know how it is. But, guys, you can't be doing things that are literally risking bodily damage. You know what I'm saying? There's other TikTok challenges that you do. Stick to like fun dances and stuff. This challenge, although amazing to see, it was too risky for me, y'all. But hey, y'all do what y'all got to do. All right, so this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, before I get into it, and it's a really good one, I have a very important question to ask y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. If you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get a free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number and why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That's why I recommend Aura to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information, social security number, credit cards off of these sites and keeping it off. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if any of your credit card or banking information is found, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based customer service. They also have a $5 million identity theft insurance package. Aura is offering a free 14-day trial to show you what they could do. If you're ever wondering about your information, how to get it offline, go to the link below. They'll show you what they could do free for 14 days. Also put up the QR code and sign up. All right. Okay, let's get to social discussion of the day. Very excited for this. I'll give you a backstory and let you know why this is so funny to me. This brand just dropped a breast milk flavored ice cream. Okay. Parenting brand Frida has teamed up with New York Oddfellows to release a limited edition breast milk flavored ice cream. The brand has made it clear it is not made from real human breast milk, but has the flavor and contains some of the same ingredients. The ice cream is also available for purchase online and in-store at Oddfellows in Brooklyn until August the 10th. Yo, please somebody send me some of this. I want some of this so badly. Okay, let me tell you the backstory and what the social discussion is, all right? Oh, and by the way, here's the truck that says breast milk ice cream. I think it's hilarious. All right, let me tell you the backstory and the social discussion. So one time I was at, I think it was like at a dinner or a barbecue or whatever, and we were talking about, women and men and, like the things that are attractive and the things that are unattractive. And I said, yo, when I'm with somebody who I'm attracted to and I really like, not somebody who I just met, at one night, but somebody who I'm really attracted to and I like, nothing about them grosses me out. Nothing at all. I want to smell your smell. I want to, but like when you're at that time of the month, it doesn't bother me. Like nothing. If I'm into, like I'm really into this person. And I went on to say that when I'm married or when I have kids with somebody, like I want to be like drinking my wife's breast milk. And my aunt was like, okay, Trent, don't ever tell anybody that because that's going to freak out girls that like you're dating. Don't say that. And I'm like, why would that freak a girl out? If I was a girl, I would want my man to be so into me like that. Like nothing, when I'm into somebody, nothing grosses me out about them. Like everything about you should be magical. And y'all know how much I love women. Like I love the fact to me, women are the first wonders of the world. The fact that women can grow a child and then produce milk to feed children is like the most beautiful thing I think on this planet. Like that's why I'm in awe of females, like even female animals like lions, nature. Like I just think women are the greatest thing that God ever created. So nothing freaks me out. Like I follow like breastfeeding videos. I follow birth videos. I think all of it is magical. Like I love every second of it. So my aunt was like, don't ever tell somebody that. And I'm like, actually, I'm going out on a date tonight. I guarantee you I can ask a girl within 1 hour of our first date if she would let me drink her breast milk if we're ever to have kids. And I guarantee she won't leave the date. And my aunt's like, oh my gosh, you could never do that. Da, da, da. So this is why this whole breast milk thing, like, literally like 10 people in my family sent it to me today. And we're like, yo, we dare that you won't talk about this on your podcast. I'm like, what? I will in 1 second. Anyways, so I left the barbecue. I picked up this girl. We went on a date. And within an hour, I was able to charismatically weave in the question. It was pretty difficult, but I was able to do it. Weave it in. And she's like, no, that's not gross at all. I would totally let you do that. And I was like, perfect. And I FaceTime my aunt and I was like, yo, boom. And she's like, all right, Trent, you're actually pretty good. And anyway, so it turned out to be a joke, etc., whatever. It's actually not that hard to bring up, but yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but I got it done. Like Oprah said, you can ask any question. It's about how you ask it, Anyways, my social discussion question is, do you think breast milk or do you think Yeah. Do you think a man being into a woman like that is attractive or not attractive? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a man wanting to drink his baby mama's partner's wife's breast milk. What do you guys think? Men, let me know what you think about it. And women, let me know what you think about it. That is today's social discussion. And if anybody knows where to get this breast milk, because y'all know I don't have kids and I've never tasted breast milk. And I've always wanted to wait till it's my babies. So I'll just have to taste this ice cream until I have babies. So somebody send me some breast ice cream if you know a link. All right, this brings us to question of the day. I'm very, very short on time, so I'm going to go very quickly. Who's the best dancer? Beyoncé, Ciara, Janet Jackson, or J-Lo? Are you kidding me? Anyways, this is very easy. Somebody said entertainment, Beyoncé, choreography, Janet Jackson, freestyle, Ciara. Another person said Janet, Ciara. Another person said Ciara, the end. Another person said Janet is the greatest of all time. Each one wanted to be her at one point. Janet is the blueprint. Ciara, J-Lo is good at a good Latin dancer. Beyonce is a great student. Ciara natural. Janet the best. Listen, all respect to J-Lo. J-Lo shouldn't even be in the conversation, although respect. However, we are talking about dancer, female dancer. There's nobody that even compares to Janet Jackson. She is a blueprint. And y'all know how I always say that Serena Williams is my baby mama? Janet Jackson is the original, my original baby mama. So any question that you put Janet Jackson in, I am going to say her. So just to let you know, I am a little bit biased, but shout out to Janet. All right, y'all, that is a wrap for me. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. I cannot wait. One more show, and then the weekend is here. All right, before I let you guys go, just want to remind you guys to click the link below or to use the QR code to sign up for Aura free for 14 days. And also just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers, if you're ever going on the road, no access to internet, the Trend Out Loud show is available on all podcast platforms. You could just go and download the show and take us with you. Vice versa, for those of you who are used to watching or listening to the show on YouTube, thank you for your downloads. Sorry, used to listening to it on podcast platforms. Thank you for your downloads, but come on over and hang out with us on YouTube. This is the best place to watch and digest the show. The comment section is lit. This is where all the Out Louders hang out, all right? Come on over to YouTube. When you get over here, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share if you're really enjoying the show, all right? I'm really always looking out for comments, so make sure y'all comment. The last thing is, I know I said last thing already, but really the last thing, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm most active on Instagram, and also follow our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. That's when we'll post stories before and after the show to keep y'all looped in. I'll see you for Friday's show. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!